Benny. American novelist Nathaniel Hawthorne once wrote that families are always rising and falling in America. It's what makes this country so fun. It's dynamic. There are fortunes and fates to be had here, and, well, things move quickly. So you better not blink. Like, for instance, there's a fall going on right now at the Daily Wire. The Daily Wire's longtime self-styled God King CEO, Jeremy Boring, is being forced out. The reason we can say that is because there's a lot of reporting that says that a lot of insiders that are saying that this was not an amicable split. Ben Shapiro hasn't posted anything about it, and it seems to come kind of out of nowhere. But if you've been paying attention, you've been sort of reading the tea leaves that there are some real problems at that company. Now, this is a no-hate video. I'm not here to try and dunk on people who I've worked with professionally or be nasty. We're just trying to establish what's going on inside of the ecosystem because we live here too, right? And what the Daily Wire does in negotiations with Steven Crowder or Candace Owens or Brett Cooper, that kind of affects all of us, actually. And so it's a very interesting landscape. It's always changing. And the departure of Jeremy Boring sent shockwaves through the industry one day ago when it was announced in this press release. That is exactly what this is. This is a press release by Axios. It's very sanitized, very crisp, very clean, giving virtually zero details, just saying that he's going to stay on as an advisor. That's not how this works when you are a high-level executive like this and you are the co-founder and CEO of the company. You don't just vanish in the dark of night. You don't just step away from something that's so incredibly profitable like the Daily Wire, or that's your brainchild, and something has to happen. It also, the article gives absolutely no explanation of where Jeremy Boring's going inside of the company, what led to his stepping away, why it's happening, or what's next. So it's leading to a lot of speculation. So let me get to what we know and what we don't know, because we have some new information. What we know is that Brett Cooper and Candace Owens both celebrated this very publicly. Brett Cooper posted this knowing gif of a smiling Jimmy Fallon winking knowingly, and Candace Owens reposted it and then gleefully talked about it on her show. Jeremy Boring posted simply a new chapter, which sort of seems like a indication that perhaps it's time to start over and do something else. Now, many have said that there have been a series of failures at the Daily Wire surrounding some major personality and talent problems, the relaunch of the comment section that has been, again, no hate, but based on the numbers, it's just been a catastrophe, right? I mean, hundreds of thousands of people unsubscribing, maybe millions at this point, and they're losing, you're losing like 10 to 20,000 subs every couple days. It's not healthy. Apparently, according to Ian Carroll, unhealthy things have been going on at the Daily Wire, potentially leading to its insolvency. We'll see what Ian has to say here, but this is a video that has gone viral now. It's been seen by millions. And Ian Carroll does say allegedly a bunch of times in this video. So we're just going to simply state, for our purposes, that we find this interesting. We'll let Ian's reporting stand for itself. Here we go.
Is going bankrupt, allegedly, and Jeremy Boring is officially out as CEO. That's right. The self-proclaimed God King of the Daily Wire is at the heart of so many scandals. And yes, he is self-described as the God King. And the email just went out today internally that he is stepping down, and now Axios is covering the story. It has not yet broken, as far as I'm aware, that private equity is moving in and looking to buy up the Daily Wire. I heard, rumor mill, that Silver Lake Capital is looking to buy them up. And yo, Silver Lake, you guys might want to watch this video before you think too hard about it, because there's a lot that is not in the public square right now. We're about to get into stuff like canceled credit cards, lying to the press, trying to trick Tim Pool. As far as I can tell from my sources, even people inside of the Daily Wire only know part of the story, and they're all kind of getting played against each other. It's a whole mess. And the most important part of this mess is that the Daily Wire has a long history of treating their employees like and so I've had numerous sources inside the Daily Wire for quite some time because everyone hates them, even their own people. That's not to mention the numerous sources outside of the Daily Wire that did not take the NDA money on the way out. Like, I had people literally in my comments on Instagram offering to give me dirt on the Daily Wire because they hated the Daily Wire so much. It's out of control. And it all centers around the God King and his massive ego and his lifelong desire to be a famous actor and make it in Hollywood, which he failed at originally years and years and years ago. And so once the Daily Wire was off the ground, he just couldn't help but try to turn the Daily Wire into a Hollywood movie studio and produce the Pendragon series. Note that this article is from 2023. And he said that he had dreamt of bringing this book to the screen for 25 years. It was due to stream exclusively on Daily Wire Plus in 2024. Why didn't that happen? That's a good question. And that leads to us talking about all the Daily Wire's employees' credit cards getting frozen, allegedly. Just to first set the stage though, producing a Hollywood movie is like a huge multi-million dollar undertaking. It is not the same as filming Ben Shapiro talking really fast at liberals. So I've actually been collecting information on this story for quite some time here. And now that it has officially broken in the news, I think my sources are a little safer to talk about this. Because they're portraying it as though Jeremy Boring is willingly stepping back to work on creative projects like the Pendragon cycle, and that he'll remain with the company in an advisory role. My sources are telling me that the Pendragon cycle is being moved off-site and out of the Daily Wire's physical purview because they're not letting Jeremy Boring back in the building right now, apparently. Jeremy Boring was 100% allegedly forced out, not a willing leave. And that's because this financial problem has been going on for years. They had recently had to table all projects and do a hiring freeze because there was no money in the bank, allegedly. All the way back in 2023, Jeremy and Ben Shapiro apparently had to put money into the Daily Wire, their own personal money, to rescue it. That money has not been reimbursed and it is all gone. The Pendragon cycle is over budget by like $50 million or something, allegedly. And at the end of 2024, this problem got so bad that Jeremy Boring apparently started lying to the press to try to drum up interest for a sale. This is when conveniently it leaked that Fox News was considering buying the Daily Wire. That was never in the works. That was just to try to drum up interest so that hopefully someone else would rescue their asses. I've heard that the Murdochs actually personally hate Jeremy Boring, allegedly, just like pretty much everyone else. Like even Ben Shapiro and Jeremy Boring, it sounds like there's a huge rift between them from what I'm hearing. There's even rumors that I can't confirm quite yet that Ben Shapiro hired his own PR person like months ago. Brett Cooper was basically like their last profitable endeavor right now. I assume they make a little bit off Matt Walsh, but I'm not quite sure and I can't confirm. Their election coverage during the 2024 election absolutely bombed. Sounds like just like most Daily Wire products, they dropped a shitload of money into production and did not nearly recoup the costs. So then you remember when Tim Pool was like kind of like rearranging his business and all sorts of weird stuff was happening there? I don't even know if Tim knows this yet directly, but it sounds like the Daily Wire was trying to manipulate him into buying the Daily Wire and trying to present it as super profitable. The rumors I'm hearing.
Okay, so I want to just step in here and say that Ian Carroll has said that this was a mistake in his video, and he's publicly announced this, saying that this wasn't Tim buying the Daily Wire, it was Daily Wire buying Tim, and they were going to do this in an all-stock deal. Now, I know about this, and it is true. That's all I can say. This is good reporting. This is a correction. It wasn't about Tim Pool buying the Daily Wire. It was the other way around. I don't know anything more than that, but that's those details are correct.
Is that Jeremy Boring thought Tim Pool would be dumb enough to fall for it, and he was the exact kind of guy they could sell to. I heard that they allegedly offered him an all-stock deal, which would be worth shit because their stock is worthless because they're bankrupt, allegedly. So props Tim for not taking that deal. That would have been a huge mistake. Because now my sources told me like a month or two ago that the Daily Wire froze all the credit cards of all the Daily Wire producers. And they were like pretending it was a new accounting system trying to cover up what was going on, allegedly. But it sounds like apparently that Jeremy Boring's entire net worth is a smokescreen and that he's trying to renegotiate contracts with people like the Petersons to try to leech as much money out as he can to just keep the books looking balanced. It sounds like Jordan Peterson, Michaela Peterson, their whole team has been really weirded out by this and is not stoked. I haven't talked to them directly, but it doesn't sound like they like him at all. So anyways, rumor is that Silver Lake is one of the primary private equity firms coming in looking to buy them up. And Ken, Mike, Egon, Greg, Joe, you might want to do a little more due diligence about the books before you make that purchase. Looks like your last investment, according to Wikipedia, was in 2022. This would not be a good way to come back onto the scene. That is just my opinion based upon what I'm hearing from the inside. Based on the chatter on the, shall we say, wire, it sounds like there's no money in the bank, so to speak, and they're not making profits. There's a difference between revenue and profits, and Jeremy has been doing a lot of finagling over the years to try to make it look really good. And realistically, do we even want the Daily Wire to be saved? Like opinion time? Don't we want to see Matt Walsh break out of the Daily Wire and do his own thing? And Matt, don't you think you'll do way better on your own than with the Daily Wire at this point? Like even Jordan Peterson, who a lot of people's perspectives have changed on over time lately, like even he would get a fresh start if he just got away from this mess. This is like enigmatic of the times we're in, where even the alternative media has been bought out by big money and played in the same big studio mindset that is just completely contrary to what the new media revolution is all about. The way Jeremy Boring thought he could just replace Brett Cooper with her producer and act like nothing had ever changed and the same audience would stay there, that is enigmatic of this old way of thinking. That the peasants just want to be entertained and you just put programming on their TV and they're guaranteed to watch it. That is not how it works. People subscribe to stories, they subscribe to people, they subscribe to authenticity, and the Daily Wire is the embodiment of an inauthentic, bad storyline that treats all of its people horribly. And I normally try to avoid breaking stories, but it is literally a colander over there. And there are so many leaks pouring information out of the Daily Wire that I cannot keep this shit out of my inbox if I try. And speaking of inboxes, rumor has it that when the Daily Wire took Brett Cooper's TikTok account, a month or so ago, the rumor is that they were trying to read her DMs because they thought that she had leaked the Brett Cooper story to me directly, despite I had never talked to Brett Cooper at all in my life at that point. That shit made me giggle because that shows just how disconnected Jeremy and his people are from reality. Like, bro, if you treat everyone in your company like absolute trash, they're not going to respect you and they're not going to protect you. And when you wrong them over and over and over again, it's inevitably going to wind up on the internet. So let this be a lesson to all of us. The internet is a force that ultimately skews towards authenticity, towards honesty, and towards open discussion. And if your business is modeled on this old way of controlling information, of big money payments, of treating people like property, and of just shitting all over your audience, allegedly, you're not going to last. So anyways, tell me in the comments who you're most excited about seeing no longer at the Daily Wire, going off on their own. For me, it's Matt Walsh, obviously. I dig Matt a lot, and I can't wait to see him break free of this. Let me know in the comments if you think the Daily Wire should get rescued and revamped, or if you think it's time for them to just be done. And Jeremy, I just want to remind us all, yourself included, pride goes before the fall.
Hot damn. Ian Carroll cooking here, and he said allegedly like 400,000 times. So I don't need to express like from the top line here that one, there was a notable error in there that the Daily Wire was trying to buy out Tim Pool, not the other way around. But then two, that this is based on his reporting. Why do I find it interesting? Am I rooting for the, destruction of any particular individual here? I'm rooting for more honesty, and I'm rooting for more honest dealing inside of this ecosystem. The part that really sings to me about all of that from Ian is the nature of content and content creators. This new landscape, authenticity reigns supreme, second to no one, answering to no one. People who build their own companies and their own audiences through their own hard work and grit, not through slick Hollywood productions and makeup people and makeup artists and costuming and those fancy little sets with fancy little gadgets everywhere. I mean, dude, put this whole thing together for like, I don't know, $500. We're proud of it. We're like really proud of it. Okay? And you will hear nothing but my honest opinions here because I got no strings to hold me down. You know, we own our own shit around here. And I think that that's refreshing. I don't like the old way. The old model was controlling with an iron fist every single thing that every person said. This is exactly what got Tucker in the end at Fox News, right? I know that as a matter of fact. Heard it straight from Tucker. The lack of control leads to the corporation to snap and then obviously just try and destroy their best talent. Candace, Brett, and so on. They suffer the consequences of this. And the ecosystem doesn't need that any longer. You can build on your own. And the audience will, if you put in enough hard work and if you are honest enough with them, and if you show up, then they'll show up for you. And so you just don't need big hedge fund money and you don't need big corporate money lavished down upon you. You've seen how well that's worked for lib media. And now they're like 10 years behind when it comes to independent media because they lived inside that bubble. Anyway, what's the point? What do I know? I've never worked for the Daily Wire. I've gone to a couple of their parties, right? Like the Gina Carano. I met Jeremy Boring one time. Gina Carano premiere. They did like a movie with Gina Carano. I went to that. It was 2022. I don't have anything personally against these people. You know, the Reagan girl that took over the comment section, Jeremy Boring. I don't know them, right? I don't know these people. I haven't even been around to like have an opinion one way or the other. Meaning this is nothing personal. It's just business. So I've stated the business part of it, but there is somebody who has business and personal connected with Jeremy Boring, and that's Candace Owens. And Candace Owens responded to the video that I just played you last night and her live show. And so I'll let Candace speak for herself, somebody who knows way more than I ever could about what's going on here. And we'll leave it at that. Here we go.
What's interesting is I was awaiting kind of Ben's statement. These two are best friends, refreshing to see what Ben had to say about this on his X feed. He has said nothing across his social media channels. That strikes me as odd. That's a very loud silence. And rather, he went very corporate. He gave a statement, which is exactly the sort of a statement that I would have had expected him to give to the Daily Wire on the Daily Wire website. This is where you can actually find a statement from Ben Shapiro and Caleb Robinson. Now, of course, Ben Shapiro is not becoming the CEO, but he is very much considered the face of the Daily Wire. And so it would have been incumbent upon him to say something. And he handled that in an extraordinarily professional manner. That's what I want to point out. This is a corporate, proper announcement, which he should do. I want to be clear. This is exactly what Ben should do. And this is the way it should happen. And these things shouldn't happen on Twitter. But again, for your best friend, and many times that Jeremy has said, I'm his only friend, it feels like there's something more than that's meeting the eye, right? So here is a statement from Ben Shapiro. Again, can be found on the Daily Wire website. Jeremy's hard work and brilliant leadership have been indispensable to the growth of this company from an idea to the largest conservative digital media company in the country, said Shapiro. Jeremy is a tremendous talent, and we're thrilled to get even more of his creative focus in the business as we head into the next phase of expansion. We can't wait to see what he does next. Whoa, that's quite the last sentence there. We can't wait to see what he does next. Pull it back up again. I just want to show what we're not hearing, right? He's a tremendous talent. We're thrilled to get even more of his creative focus in the business. In what capacity? As we head into the next phase of expansion. What has he become now that he is not the CEO? And then you say we can't wait to see what he does next. Again, this feels like we're moving on. That's what it feels like to me, and I could be wrong. And of course, we will update this if suddenly they're like, he is going to be the chief, but you get a title or you don't. And I'm not hearing a title here.